Okay, hello, I am Dmitry Kosevic and what is the word for it? I forget sometimes, I think it's called voiceovers, maybe? Not sure. So, yes, this person named Blazer50, he was kind of just there. He should know that he shouldn't be in this lobby, but he did it anyway, and, well, it amounts to something, you know. When they first started, people started joining and I just told them, hey, sorry, this isn't going to start, you know, you should just leave because somebody is a 90 plus and that was the whole point of the lobby in the first place. Some people don't get it, of course, especially level 80s, and then they can go even lower. I was trying to talk to some guy in Japanese to tell him to leave, but obviously when you try to use Google Translate, it doesn't work very well. I don't think he ever got it. He kept sending me a bunch of question marks, but I kept trying to tell him. So yes, he hasn't actually said anything yet, and this isn't. Let me give me some exposition before he starts getting to the better parts. This isn't the first time he's done this. He has done this before, and he had cursed at me. This is actually the second time he actually stays around for a while. The second time I saw him, he actually left, so this is the third time I see him. And yeah, there's me trying to copy and paste it in the Japanese letters. Of course, Sushi Ninja still don't get it, not one bit. So he just he keeps sending me things in Japanese, and obviously I don't understand. I mean, I'm trying to, but of course I don't. I can't highlight his text and then of course just put it into Google Translate. And then of course I tell Yuppie that it's not going to start, and he was very understanding. Yuki is somebody who plays with me pretty often. There's actually a lot of people who join, including Sushi himself, who actually do play with me on a regular basis. So I find it quite amusing that Blazer50 thinks that that these people don't play with me, that the people who join who are level 100s and 90s, that they don't know who I am. And then he tries to tell me something, and here is the first time where he puts an insult. Then of course I look at his file, of course. He has more than 5 times the depth than I do, so, you know, just, let's put it in that perspective. He's not very good, but he's trying to sound like he is. And this Pastel Meat guy, he apparently is just as imbecile as his friend or no acquaintance Blazer50. And of course he starts telling me crap, but of course one of my very good acquaintances actually comes in, and he is the voice of reason, not Sushi Ninja, since of course he does not talk in English really. And he'll come. I think his name is Jian. I think that's what it sounds like. So yeah, Jian. He's the voice of reason in this video. You will see him join and leave, and he will say very many good things, as will several other players who come by. And of course, kind of after that, I was really quiet. I think that was the one of the last times I ever said anything to anybody at that point, until of course Wolverine came back. After this point, I only talked to Wolverine. I think Blazer and Paston were having at first a misunderstanding with each other, but then they finally got it. But of course, Blazer can't help but try and continue to insult me, as well as his, of course, new acquaintance. And of course, Blazer actually, throughout this video, he actually exaggerates how long he's here. There's even one point where he says he's been there for 3 hours. So let me tell you that I was looking at the timestamps on the video, since I can look at the properties. And I had found that this lasted about an hour and 30 minutes, maybe up to 40 minutes. It wasn't very long. In fact, the video is only 1/7 of the time, because it was like 1 hour and 40 minutes. And of course, there comes with more insults, and then people calling me crazy. Well, of course, I am crazy, I don't mind. And then of course he tries to compare via weapons. And that's pretty stupid, you know. You don't compare people's proficiencies, how good they are based on weapons. It's pretty stupid. I can do better than many lots of people with just a flamethrower, so yes. But of course I didn't care. I was actually doing something on the side the entire time. I was just looking at the forums, and I was actually rendering a video as well, since I figured I was going to be there for a very long time. I was rendering other videos to kind of delete them and make space for this one, since I was recording. And then eventually I realized that I could just record when the text came up, and I just started doing the snippets in the end. Right now it looks streamlined, but in a while you will start seeing the cuts per cuts per cuts. And of course he's like, I won't leave, and I'm like, okay, I don't care. And it hadn't even been near an hour yet, but you know, just let him think what he thinks. But as for leaving, the reason why I didn't leave is of course I wanted to see how much trash could come out of his mouth, and how original it could get, and of course it was never original. It was the same thing over and over. He talks about me like I'm some kind of circus freak. Okay. And then of course somebody very friendly with me joins. And I'm glad he doesn't say much, because if he would have said anything, I'm pretty sure Blazer would have gotten his case, as you will see in a second. And now it tells him to make an MK account. I don't know why people do this, but hey, people are people, scum is scum, we can just go with that, right? Okay, any minute now, well not minute but second. I think within 10 seconds you will see Blazer tell Raynor something, and Raynor will tell him something back. And then I think Blazer tries to see, you know, if something, and so there it is. He tells Blazer I'm waiting, and then he asks if he's my friend. And I'm gonna tell you right away, Blazer is not a very nice person. If you are my friend, he will start insulting you. So I'm glad right here X-Raynor did not say anything, because again, it's one thing when you insult me, well, try to insult me, you can't actually insult me. It's one thing when you try to insult me, and another when you try to insult my friends. Because me, I just shrug it off. That's why I didn't say anything. There's the voice of reason, he's back to tell us that he's done 2 nightmare games. And then there's my friend. Of course I tell him that we got 2 trolls right in the lobby, even though there was a third one. Then of course he asks if I want to create a new lobby. Of course I do, but the problem was I was rendering a video. It takes a while when I'm using Microsoft. Is it Microsoft? Well, whatever. It's Windows Movie Maker. And then of course I tell him about my new stuff. The armors, the 99%, and the new health. And of course I wish I could get course, but the course never come, and as you will see, I probably will reset my skills very soon. And then of course he just keeps telling me that I've got even more. And I go down to go play on his low level players while I'm here, since again, I'm not here because I'm trying to wait for the other guy to leave. No, I'm here to see how much trash could come out of his mouth. And of course, like I said, Gian is the voice of reason. He asked me to come to 91, but I figured that the douchebag right there in the second spot will probably follow. And he said something funny about us having a staring contest. That was nice. I liked it. I think I played with him. Yeah, I think I played with him twice today, so that was nice. So again, you know, when things like this happen, you know, none of the high-level players hold it against me. They know me. They like me. Funny how he calls me son of a bitch, I think? I don't know. And then he calls me an asshole, but whatever. Then somebody calls me psycho. Okay, I'm insane, but I don't think psycho and insane are the same thing. Either way, I can't go psycho. And then of course he lies about going to the gym, which clearly he has been here the entire time. There's no way he had time to go to the gym. So he's also a liar, besides being a scumbag. And I have a lot of time on my hands. He's been here, so yeah, he must have a lot of time on his hands too. Then of course Gian comes to tell me to go to nm90, and of course I don't want Blazer following, so I just stayed here. And then of course Raynor comes back, and it's really funny that Blazer acts like if he hadn't even gone. But of course Raynor knows, I'm just waiting. Raynor knows that I don't care. However, Jonathan Hufana, who I've actually played with as well, he comes in and he keeps telling me to go, and then I think he comes back, and I guess he got a little frustrated with it. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't, but yeah. Again, nobody ever knows what my intentions are, and look, there's another insult. And then worse yet, he doubles up. That kinda gets old. And then Ninja Hosta comes. Now, NJ Hosta, I'm not very mad at him. In fact, if it would have been NJ Hosta, I probably would have let him play, since I played with him quite often before. And then of course here comes another insult, which is really stupid, so me and my friend just laugh about it. And then he starts to try and insult my friend, which is just, it's not right. Your beef is with me, keep it with me, do not try and, you know, do not try and insult my friend. But of course my friend is, he can take as much shit as I can. Probably less, probably more, I'm not sure. So yeah, he just goes back at it. And like I said, NJ Hosta, I would play with NJ Hosta. He's not an asshole. NJ Hosta's a nice guy. Even though he's level 87, I'd make an exception for NJ Hosta. I have before, and I'll do it again. Then of course my friend asked me if I want to go, and I told him yeah, I'm ready. And I asked him if we go to the regular lobby, and I say yeah, sure. And then I tell this guy one last thing, and that was about it.